Here is my 2001 BMW M5. I bought it back in 2010. My brother-in-law, he's the one who found it in Elk Grove, and I'd been looking for one of these for about a year before I purchased this one. I had about $29,000, $30,000 at the time to buy an M5, but I couldn't find the right spec, condition, mileage. I remember getting ridiculed at a dealership. I walked in there with cash, but I looked like I was a bum because I just finished painting a house, my rental property, and I didn't have time to change my clothes. And so I was still in my painter's outfit. I had an appointment set up with the dealership, and they didn't treat me seriously. But that one was the same color as this carbon black with the caramel interior, and the guy, the dealership people, didn't treat me so well, so I walked away. The other issue that at that dealer I remember was that they were getting audited by the IRS or whatever, and the tax people came down, whatever, and they were quite rude as I was ready to take one for a test drive. Anyways, I'm so glad that happened, because this came up shortly after that incident, and it had 94,000 miles, and the person who I bought it off of was the second owner. I paid $13,000 for it. It had been sat for 2 years, had flat tires at the time, dead battery, and it just, I guess the guy drove it from the smog station and parked it in his garage. Anyways, that was back in 2010. The guy was going out of business, the person I bought it from, and he had to sell it in an emergency. And I was able to swoop it in. And this is a funny story because my brother-in-law used a Motorola Razr phone to take a picture of it. He sent it to me via text message. A little crappy image of this thing. I just looked at the price. I was like, take it, man. I sent him the money real quick, sight unseen, and paid $13,000 for this. My brother got it. Brother being a BMW mechanic, that's the only reason why I would own one of these. And we put $1,700 into it. Tires, battery, alignment, oil change, did all that stuff, and it's been really good to me ever since. It's been an amazing, reliable vehicle up to the year 2017. As of this recording, we're in 2022, May. But in 2017, I parked this up because I had a misfire, and I couldn't put more money into it. So BMWs, they do take a lot of money to keep them going. And I just put $6,000 into this engine a year before the misfire because of the code that shows up for when there's a blockage. And carbon builds up in these engines from not being, I think maybe the way we drive in these cities that we have, a lot of traffic. Excuse the airplane. Yeah. Early this year, I replaced the fuel injector, replaced all the coil packs, spark plugs, which surprised me. The spark plug should have been changed at the BMW dealership where I got the engine all cleaned out, all that carbon buildup, and it looked like the spark plugs had never been changed. I got all that done. Now we've got a few more issues to take care of. I just came back from Beamer Only, which is off of Maori in Fremont, and I let them have it for like 3 weeks to go through and have a proper look, and I just didn't feel like they went through it properly. You know, I asked them to give me a quote on replacing the radiator. They didn't. The fan clutch, they didn't quote me on that either. I got some seepage around my power steering. I know that there's a leakage on the power steering hose as well. They didn't quote me for that. Yeah. These shocks need to be replaced. That's not a big deal. They want a new battery as well. Oops, didn't even stay up. So this is what they came up with. So shock absorbers. I know we need all that. This is the number to go at the bottom. What is it? 12. That's total. Okay. Yeah, it didn't feel like they did a thorough job. I don't mind the 12, whatever, 13,000. But I want this to be running awesome the way it was before. So quite a few bits need to be done. Obviously the wheels need to be reconditioned. I do need tires. This is all fell apart right here. Self-dismantling. The steering wheel's crusty. Console's cracked. All those cracks. Gear shifter's wearing out. There's a crack right there. You can see it. But center console's good. The seats are in good condition. No tears. Just a few stretch marks, but everything else is in good condition here. And this is the one with all the options available. So look what it's got on the dash. Or the new M logo and all that to be deleted. I think there's a upgrade you can do to that. This car needs a handbrake as well. Brakes checked. There's a brake issue. So that was one of the other things that they didn't look into. I just seen that shop just wanted to do something that they could do pretty quickly and make a quick buck, but I really wanted them to go through it properly. So I feel confident in them doing done a job on this thing. I'll be taking it out to Edge Motorworks in Fremont. It'll be the next spot I go to. Looking for a little driving. It's in really poor shape, poor car. See the hood? Well, what happened was I took this car to get detailed. I think they burned the clear coat. Put this cream on it to make it all shiny, and then after 3 or 4 months it just washed off. And you can hear the transmission. clicking sound. Something that I had to bring to the attention of the mechanics that were doing the inspection of my vehicle. It was crazy, it doesn't happen in fifth. That's in fifth gear now. BMW M5. You know why? I'm considerate, that's why. In our family we have words of the week, and this week's word is considerate. And our children, our family, myself included, are to look for 5 instances at a minimum of people being considerate, including ourselves. Check engine light. Look at that, 183,000 miles. Zoom in, guy. Come back home. The thing this thing has as well that it wasn't looked at was the heat shield underneath the car. They vibrate at low speed. When I'm in the parking lot, it makes a rattling sound. It's quite annoying. Button. It's fifth gear. Okay, using my indicators. Something that BMW drivers are accused of not using. Makes sense, right? By the time you've indicated that you're going to make a lane change and you're going to overtake, you're way ahead of everybody, so it's almost like, what's the point, you know? And what I think that when I broke the subframe on this car back in 2016, and I drove it for like maybe half a block to get it out of the way, I think I damaged something, either in the drive shaft or the transmission, or the shop that I took it to that replaced the rear subframe didn't quite replace the other parts as well. So ever since then, it's been this way. That noise. Other than that, I want to get this back to its former glory and enjoy it. It's a classic car now. 21 years old. Yeah. So I reckon paint will be around 7 to get done right. I think all the work that I want to get done, maybe that's around 15-ish thousand. So what do you guys think? Is it worth it?